Okay, in this video, I am going to go over different types of lids that you guys can create to use on your teapots. All of the different lids I'm going to show you are not on teapots. Some of them are on jars, but I wanted to show you guys the different types that you can create, and then we'll go over how to build spouts and handles and different things like that next week. The first one I'm going to show you is an inset lid. You can see that the lid sets in, so an inset lid, and it just matches up with the top here. So if I were to take the lid out, that's what you would see inside. I'm going to show you one that I started working on, and this is going to be the one I'm going to do handle demonstrations on as well. So you can see inside, what I did to create this was I made a large coil, and then I simply pressed it in using my finger to smooth along to get a nice surface. I then created a small pinch pot, and I made sure that it was going to fit in to the inset part. So this, when I go ahead and drop it into there, I'll go ahead and I'll have a lid that's fairly matched up. And of course I might work on this a little bit more to get it a little bit more even and perfect, but this is just a little sketch so you guys can kind of see what we're going for. The next type of lid I like to think of as almost a cork style lid. So you can build the whole entire body of your teapot, and rather than just having something rested on top, you're going to want it so that your lid is not going to fall off when you use your teapot. So when I pick this up, you're going to see that there's almost a little cork type form, and then that gets inserted into the teapot. The same one on here. You have that little inset, the little cork, and then that makes it easy so your lid's not going to move around on you too much. Another one that's on this little teapot, and for this teapot I decided that I was going to make a little space there, and it's actually just pushed into the teapot, and then I made a little owl cup for it. Besides the point, this type of lid we would make using a beveled edge. So very similar to when we created our boxes, you would construct the whole entire teapot body first. By body, I mean anything that's going to contain the liquid. You can see from the top that this was fully constructed. I then went in and I cut it on a diagonal, once again using that term beveled, and so when I go ahead and I pick the lid out, it's not going to just drop in because it's cut on its side. And these usually fit fairly well. I recommend usually not doing them as a straight square, although if you do feel comfortable doing that, I know some of you did on your boxes, go ahead and go for it. The last type of lid I'm going to show you in this video is a form-fitted lid. On these jars, once I take the lids off, you can see that there's a very distinct lip around the edge. When you go ahead and look in, there's no inset or anything. You just have this really nice lip. Same thing with this one. So this is the shape that you would want to create. Pretty much a vase form for the body of your teapot. Now when you look underneath the lid, you almost have a little bowl inside of a bowl. It's very narrow, and what that's going to do is it's going to create a really tight seal on your teapot. So I would go about constructing this by making a very, very miniature bowl, and then inside coiling up or attaching a small piece of slab and smoothing it in, and then you'll have a really nice form fit. You guys are going to want to measure if you do decide to make a lid like this, just so that you get it on and it's going to set in really nicely. So these are the different types of lids I have to show you guys in this video. There are a bunch of other lids you may see online. If you want to do one of those, I can absolutely help you go ahead and create that form. However, these are 4 basic ones I'm going to show you so you have somewhere to stem from, and then we will continue on in class. Alrighty.